We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 39th chapter, Akrura visited Vrindavan. And for today, we have 3 verses to discuss, verse number 13, 14, and 15. In these verses, after the announcement by Nanda Maharaj in previous verse that all the Brajavasis should bring their revenue to be given to Kansa, and also we are going to have a big festival in Mathura. The festival of a bow, Dhanusha. And this message is brought by Akrura from Mathura. And most important is that Nanda Baba is also asked to bring Krishna and Balaram to Mathura. Now, reaction to this announcement and some other rumors in Nandagaon that Krishna and Balaram are going out of Vrindavan to Mathura. Then the different groups of the gopis, their feelings are described in upcoming 5 verses. So of those 5, we'll discuss 3 verses today. So let us recite. I have to recite because this is verse number 13. Gopyasta tadupashratya Baboro Vyathita Brisham Rama Krishna Purim Netum Akruram Brajamagatam. So, Srila Prabhupada disciple translate, when the young gopis heard that Akrura had come to Braj to take Krishna and Balaram to the city, they become extremely distressed. Gopis started upashurtaya. Upashurtaya means they heard the announcement made by Nanda Baba and Upananda, and also heard from other people, not directly. Upashurtaya means heard from indirect source. And what they heard? Ramakrishna Purim Netam. Krishna and Balaram are going to be taken by Akrura out of Vrindavan. So what is the reaction? Babuhu Vyathita Brisham. They become extremely distressed. Vyathita means distressed. They become extremely distressed. Srila Chakravarti Pad writes, then, tat means then means after the announcement. Those gopis who had made Krishna their life, gopi. So what is the general meaning of the word gopi? One who take care of cows. Gopi, Gopal. Gopa, Gopi, Gopal. Just it means one who takes care of cows. What is the other meaning of gopis? There are many other people taking care of cows. What is special of these gopis? Yes. Go means senses. P means drinking. They are directly drinking the beauty of Krishna with the eyes. They are directly drinking the sweet mellows of the flute of Krishna through their ears. They were smelling the fragrance of Krishna's transcendental body through their nostrils. They were touching Krishna with their hands. That is also the meaning of gopi. They were drinking through their senses the beauty of Krishna. And the one more meaning of the gopi is one who keeps Krishna confidential, Gopanya. Gopanya, why Krishna left Mathura and went to Gokul? Just to be concealed from Kansa. That Kansa should not notice where is Krishna. So gopis used to keep Krishna concealed, confidential, Gopanya. But how? Oh, they used to make Krishna dance. Yashoda used to bind Krishna. Kansa says, one who is afraid of gopis dancing for the little buttermilk, what he will do to me. So they kept the Krishna confidential. That's the other meaning of gopi. So here, gopis who had made Krishna their life. It means those who have a love for Krishna. Heard that Akrura had come to take Krishna and Balaram to Mathura from others. Jiva Goswami writes, gopis heard from some were talking, Upashante, some were talking, not directly. Since they could not have heard directly, they were extremely pained. In their extreme distress, they felt that death was preferable. It's better we die rather than being separated from Krishna. Yuga yutam nidishena chakshika pravistam sunya yutam jagat sarvam govinda pranami. This is the mood of the gopis. How can we be separated from Krishna for a moment? They were extremely pained. In their extreme distress, they felt the death or the Nitya Siddha gopis, just on hearing Nanda's announcement, become overcome with grief. Whereas the Sadhana Siddha gopis, on hearing that Akrura had come to take Krishna, become aggrieved. Now, in these 5 verses, we have different group of gopis. So one classification of gopis is Nitya Siddha gopis and Sadhana Siddha gopis. Nitya Siddha gopis are like Lalita, Vishakha. They are Nitya Siddha gopis. The Sadhana Siddha gopis, they have done sadhana and they have attained the conjugal mellows and raganuga bhava of Krishna. So they are Sadhana Siddha gopis. So their reaction is different. This is one group of gopis. How do we divide the gopis? Nitya Siddha and Sadhana Siddha. The other division of the gopis is leftist and rightist. Leftists are Radharani and her group. They consider Krishna as ours. And the rightist gopis, Chandravali and her group, they think we are Krishna's. So these are the 2 main groups. And then there are 2 more groups. One who are in favor of Radharani and group, the other who are in favor of Chandravali and group. So there are 4 groups. And the 5th group is neutral, not in anybody's side. So these are the different groups of the gopis. Now here, Jiva Goswami writes, Nitya Siddha gopis, just on hearing Nanda's announcement, become overcome with grief of separation from Krishna. But Sadhana Siddha gopis, on hearing that Akrura had come to take Krishna, become aggrieved. Grief and aggrieved. What is the difference between the 2? Their grief arose from fear of separation from Krishna, not from fearing he would be harmed in Mathura. So why they are worried? Is Krishna going to Mathura in a foreign land, and Kansa is very cruel when he killed Krishna? They were not afraid of that. They were only afraid that we are going to be separated from Krishna. That is the reason for their grief. Because in verse number 23, their fear that they will be attracted to the woman of Mathura. Gopis were more concerned with a Vama bhav, that Krishna going to the Mathura, then the young woman of Mathura will be attracted to Krishna. Krishna is ours. Now Krishna will be attracted by the other one. And in Mathura, all they have a conjugal bhav towards Krishna. This is described in that arena. The young lady said, this is the festival for the eyes, a beautiful Krishna. So this is their fear. Krishna went with the approval of the senior coward like Upananda and Nanda, and therefore he would be safe. It means there is no danger to Krishna in Mathura because the senior people, his father and uncle, they are also accompanying him, and they have approved, so there is no fear for Krishna. If it had not been so, the gopis would have immediately died. If gopis thought that Krishna is going to be having a life danger in Mathura, then they cannot keep their life. The Leela Shakti made this arrangement. Since they believed he would stay in Mathura for only a short time, they addressed him in verse 22 as son of Nanda to affirm his connection with Vrij. Their only fear was that he would be attracted to the women of Mathura, verse 23. If they had thought otherwise, they would have stated it. The hope that he would return was reason they maintained their lives. This condition of the woman in separation, proshita, is caused by their extreme anuraga. So Jiva Goswami's commentary explains gopis, if they believe that Krishna is in danger in Mathura, then they cannot keep their life. They would have died. But Krishna said, I will come back. Therefore they kept their life. And while they were in anxiety because of their anurag. Anurag means extreme, unalloyed love for Krishna. Who are these gopis? Their names are given in the next verse. Verse number 14. Kachita kritta hritatapa. Shwasaha malana mukhashriya. Sansaddadukula valya. Kesha granthascha kaschana. Translation. Some gopis felt so pained at heart that their faces turned pale from their heavy breathing. Others were so anguished that their dresses, dokulam, bracelet, valya, and braid become loose. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, 5 verses describe the mental anguish of the gopis. Among them, Bhadra, the name of the gopi, Bhadra, and others are described. Bhadra's face was withered due to lack of breath from the increase in heart on hearing the news. Next, the withering of the limbs of Shyamala and others is described. They become so thin that their ornament become to fall off. So in this verse there are 2 groups of gopis. One is Bhadra, her face become pale, and the other is Shyamala and their guru. They become so thin that their dresses and their ornament become loose. So this is another group of gopis. And Srila Jiva Goswami writes, in the description of the Ras dance, the degree of prem were described in different gopis. As we discussed, there are different group of gopis. 3 verses show in succession higher degree of prem. So this verse has a prem of, say, good, the next verse has a best, and the last verse has the better. This is good, next is better, and the last is the best. And that best is Radharani. And the next verse is Chandravali. And these are the just other just gopis. Okay. It was described in the explanation of the previous that some gopis personally heard the announcement. Just on hearing they become aggrieved, not by first taking a few seconds to understand the meaning. The second line also describes gopis who heard and instantly become aggrieved, since it indicates their activities and is mentioned in the same verse. Since they become aggrieved simply on hearing, and then their clothing and hair slackened. What would happen if they contemplated the meaning? Now, if this translation says, just they heard Krishna is going. They never thought what it means. So one group was spontaneously, without thinking the meaning, they become pale. The other group, they thought Krishna is also going. Upon hearing that, they become so shrinked in body that their clothes and the ornament become loose. So this is also the degree of prema of the different gopis. Simply hearing and trying to understand and contemplating what it means. So this is the difference between the two. These two types, Nitya Siddha, are the best. Just on hearing, they are Nitya Siddha. Just they heard and they become grieved. The sadhana siddha, they heard, they try to understand what it means, and then they become grieved. So there's a difference between the two. Simply hearing, then trying to understand. So Nitya Siddha, two types of Nitya Siddha are the best. Because of their spontaneous emotions, those who become grieved on understanding, Akuru will take them away, mentioned in the commentary of the previous verse, are sadhana siddha. It means in verse 30, there are two groups. One is saying Krishna is going, so they become grief is time, they are nitya siddha. The other group, Akuru has come to take Krishna. Oh, so Krishna will go. After understanding, they were sadhana siddha. So these are the two groups of the gopis in the previous verse. The second type mentioned in this verse is superior to the first type. Since the first has less intense prem than the later. The first line describes Bhadra and others, whose tilak, mukh, shriya, immediately become pale by their heavy breathing. Their tilak become pale by heavy breathing. What become pale? Their tilak become pale by heavy. Immediately become pale by their heavy breathing. What to speak of their complexions? That they all become aggrieved should be understood in all the description of the different gopis. Later gopis also exhibit the symptom of the previous type. The gopis whose clothing become loose are shyamala and others. Their clothing become loose because they become thin. 3 verses describe different reaction of different gopis, group of gopis, Sanatana Goswami writes, according to different bhavas, their mellows. The announcement of Kirta caused the reactions. It was described in the explanation of the previous verse that some gopis reacted just on hearing of the announcement. Just on hearing they become aggrieved, not by first taking a few seconds to understand the meaning. Their natural beauty faded. They felt extreme pain in their heart. Their clothing became loose because of the intense grief at imminent separation. Now the verse for today to response. Anyascha tad anodhyana nivratta shesha vrittaya nabhyajanam imam lokam atma lokam gataiva anyascha tadano dhyana nivratta shesha vrittaya Nabhyajanan nimam lokam Atma lokam gata iva Anyascha tadano dhyana Nivarta sesha vrittayah Nabhyajanan imam lokam Atma lokam gata iva Anyascha tadano dhyana Nivarta sesha vrittayah Nabhyajanan imam lokam Atma lokam gata iva Anyascha tadano dhyana Nivarta sesha vrittayah Nabhyajanan imam lokam Atma lokam gata iva Ananyascha dhyana Nivarta sesha vrittayah Nabhyajanan imam lokam Atma lokam gata iva Ananyascha dhyana Nivarta sesha vrittayah Atma lokam gata iva Anyascha tadano dhyana Nivarta sesha vrittayah Nabhyajanan imam lokam Atma lokam gata iva Anyas others cha and tat on him anodhyana by fixed meditation nivritta ceased asesha all vrittyaha their sensory functions na adhyanan they were unaware imam of this lokam world atma of self-realization lokam the realm gataha those who have attained eva just like translation by the disciples. Other gopis entirely stop their sensory activities and become fixed in meditation on Krishna. Tat. They lost all awareness of external world, just like those who have attained the platform of self-realization. Purpose disciple. The gopis were in fact already on the platform of self-realization, which means siddha. So we have two stages, sadhana stage and siddha stage. So gopis were already siddha. In Chaitanya Chaitanya, what is that siddhi? Now the question is, they were self-realized, it means perfect. So what is their perfection? Then they are giving answer. In Chaitanya Chaitanya, the Madhya Leela 2108, state, Jivera Swarup Hai Krishna Era Nitya Das. That is the perfection. That is the culmination of self-realization. That I am the eternal servant of Krishna. The self or the individual soul is an eternal servant of Krishna. Thus, because they were rendering most intense loving service to Krishna, the gopis were situated at highest stage of self-realization. Sri Chakravarti Pad writes, this verse describes the prem of Chandravali. rightest gopi, daughter of Chandrabhanu. They consider we belongs to Krishna. Whatever Krishna wants, we will do. So they are called the rightist. And the other group is Radharani, Lalita and Vishal. They are called leftist, and their mood is Krishna is ours, as we like Krishna is to do. So that will come in. That is going to come in verse number 16. That the mood of Radharani will be described. Reaction of Radharani will be described in the upcoming verse. Hare Krishna. So Chandravali and others means her group. Absorbed in meditation. Their senses could not recognize their proper objects like people who have realized Paramatma and lose consciousness of their bodies. However, the example is not raised to compare the gopis' taste to that of meditator. For the taste of prem is completely different from that of Brahma, like the gold in comparison to glass. So because the verse says meditation, adhyan. Tat adhyan. Tat means Krishna. They were meditating on Krishna. So what they were realizing. And the example is given. Eva means just like self-realized person. The one who has realized Paramatma or his soul. So then the commentator is described as a difference, Chakravarti Pada. The realization of ordinary gyanis of self-realization is realization of Brahma. And they have a Brahma Ananda, the bliss of Brahma. And that's also very high bliss. But the gopis, when they are meditating on Krishna, their ecstasy and bliss was million times more than the Brahmagyan, Brahmananda. Because there's a difference between the two. The gopis' meditation on Krishna, what they were meditating about Krishna by the way. They are meditating about Krishna's pastime with them. How we were with Krishna, how we were dancing with Krishna, we were talking with Krishna, feeding Krishna. So their meditation is on pastime of Krishna, which they have personally had with Krishna. So that meditation gave them the highest ecstasy and bliss. That is compared to gold as the meditation of the Gyanis or Yogis, which is compared to glass. So when we say gold and glass, this is a different context. We have another verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. There is a difference between prem and kam. Lust. So love and lust is a different, like a gold and iron. But this is a different completely. That is materialistic people. This is not materialistic. They are yogis, gyanis. They are doing self-realization. They are meditating on Paramatma. They are Brahma realizing. They have a highest bliss, but compared to the gopis or the lover of the Krishna, it is million times more. That Brahmanand is like a drop, and the bliss of Krishna consciousness is like an ocean. A difference between the two. Sri Jiva Goswami writes, others means other gopis such as Chandravali, after thinking of meaning of the announcement, developed fear of separation, and then in a state of absorption, felt love for him. So when she was feeling now Krishna is going to Mathura, Krishna is not yet gone. She's just thinking Krishna is going to Mathura. And the pain of separation she was feeling pain of separation. It's called Purva. Even before going, Krishna is there, but there Krishna is going, this fear. Because of this fear, she was meditating on Krishna. Because she felt love for him, absorption. Absorption Krishna means absorption in pastime of Krishna, which she personally had with Krishna. The mention of meditation in this verse distinguishes these gopis from the previous ones. The previous ones were Bhadra and Shamila. They become grieved, their face become pale, they become thin. But they are having more deep love than those gopis. Because they were completely absorbed in thought of Krishna. They were like person who has attained their swarup, Atmalokam. Atmalokam means their swarup. They were Jivan Mukta. They were Jivan Mukta. What is Jivan Mukta? They are liberated while living. It's not after death they are liberated. So what is the definition of Jivan Mukta by Srila Rupa Goswami? Iha yasya harir dasya karmana manasa gira akleshu avastasu jivan mukta uchyati. So iha means in this world while living. While living. Yasya anybody. Iha yasya harir dasya. I am the eternal servant of Hari. Karmana manasa vacha, by action, by function of mind and by words. Akleshu avastasu, in all situations, when they are together or separated, then he is considered Jivan Mukta. So this is the definition of liberated while living. So these gopis are Jivan Mukta. The examples show that they forgot about their bodies. Atmalokam. They forgot the world, they forgot their own bodies. How will he go there? They were thinking, how will he go there? How will he stay there? How will we continue to live? It means what their meditation was. How will he go? Akrura will take on their chariot? No. They will go with Nanda Baba on the bullock cart. How they will go? Because we will go and meet him before he is going. Because gopis were coming in front of the chariot of Akrura and stopping him from going. So they were thinking how he will go, we will find out. And how will he stay there? Where he is going to stay there? All these gopis, there's one song of the gopis in Bhagvatam, that when Krishna is going to forest, they are simply thinking of the pastime of Krishna, and even sometimes they dress as a coward boys and go to the forest and look in between the trees, the pastime of Krishna. So gopis goes. They used to go to the forest in the cowherd boys' dress. So they were always meditating like that. So they were thinking, oh, where he will stay in Bhatta? Can we go there? And it's not possible. We cannot go there. So how can we live without him? How can we live without him? It's not possible. And by that, they stop the function of their mind. So every day they were separated from Krishna. When Krishna was going to herd the cows, he's going early in the morning, coming in the evening. So it means it's not a new experience. But here, he's going to Mathura, he's not going to come in the evening. Or in the day, if he's not in Gokul or in Nandagaon, he is in the forest. We can go in the forest and see him. But now he's going to Mathura, we cannot go there. Where is going to stay? What is going to do? So that thought made their minds function stop. Nibbutta. asation. Completely mind function start. They cannot. They were not aware of their bodies or things related to the body at all. And Sri Sanatana Goswami writes, they were like persons who had attained their swarup, Atma Lokam, Jivan Mukta. The examples show that they forgot about their bodies, or they meditated on Krishna, going. How many go there? How many stay there? How will we continue to live? And by that they stop the function of mind. Same exactly what Sri Goswami has written. So here ends our today's 3 verses. So, what is the message from today's these 3 verses? Akrura has come, he is sent by Kansa to bring Krishna and Balaram, but on pretext of some festival. And Nanda Baba and other senior gopas were also going there. So they were supposed to go to Mathura. The thought of this separation from Krishna, the feeling of the topmost devotees of the Krishna gopis are described in these verses. And these gopis are of different groups and their bhavas are different, therefore the reaction is also different. So this is the story which will continue. What we have to, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has the same mood. In that same mood of gopis, Yuva Yatam Nimishena Chakshasha Pravishnam Sunya Jagat Sarvam Govinda Brahmani. So, little separation from Krishna is like millions of cycles have passed. How can I keep my life? So, what should be our meditation? This is one of the reasons Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has ordered Goswami to establish the gorgeous deity worship. Though the deity worship is for Dwapar Yuga, it's not for this age. Why Mahaprabhu wanted these temples to be established for the worship of this Arjavika? The reason is that we should develop attachment and love towards our presiding deities. And they are and deities are seen by neophyte devotees as images of Krishna. But by the Mahabhagavata, none different than Krishna. Krishna and these deities are not different for the Mahabhagavata. But for neophyte, they are just like a symbol. So we have to come to this stage of at least Prabhupada said Madhyam Adhikari. And we should have attachment to our deities. And little separation from them, we should feel same thing. There are saintly people living in Vrindavan. They are going out of Vrindavan, they cannot live for over 1 or 2 nights. They are feeling separation from Vrindavan. Because they have attachment to Vrindavan. But then how we can say Srila Prabhupada left Vrindavan and went to America? Prabhupada was sitting in New York and he told his disciples, what do you think? I am in America? No, I am in Vrindavan. Then Srila Prabhupada said, Vrindavan is consciousness. And that consciousness means how to please Krishna, how to love Krishna, how to serve Krishna. Wherever you are, if your consciousness is how to please Krishna, how to love Krishna, how to serve Krishna, then you are in Vrindavan. Srila Rupa Goswami also writes in Bhagavatam Sindhu, one has to live in Vrindavan, physically or mentally. Physically you are not able to live, then mentally you live. So what then we feel actually? We should always meditate. Those who are living in Vrindavan, when they go out for preaching, their daily meditation should be, they should be absorbed like these gopis in thought of Krishna, this thought of our own deities, which we every day, with love and affection, have darshan and render service. So this one part which Mahaprabhu has established all these temples and Srila Prabhupada carried out that same mission all over the world of establishing temple is one of the important anga of bhakti out of the 5 anga, and that can give us the higher taste immediately. Bhang bhakti can arouse immediately. So Archa Vigraha Shraddhaya Seva and separation from our deities, we cannot tolerate. Rather, Asdhyari in Jew temple, when in the early days it was on, so the deities were in a small room made for their worship on a property, and then some people instigated by the landlord to vacate that place, so they came to dismantle the building and take away the deities. One Mataji, she was holding on the deity. They were pulling her hairs, they were, giving her so much bodily torture, but she never left the deities and never allowed them to touch deity or take deity away. So this is a sort of attachment to the deity that Mataji has, and that Rasbihari stayed there, and they are still there in a beautiful new temple built by Srila Prabhupada. It was, I think, earthquake in Latur at some time in Maharashtra. And the deities on the first floor in a temple, when there was earthquake, all the devotees ran away. Then they see the devotees said, you are running away and leaving the deities behind. What sort of love you have for the deities? How can you run away and leaving deities behind? And therefore, all the deities in Vrindavan during the Muslim period were taken away from Vrindavan even by the kings to the Rajasthan for protection. All these original deities of Vrindavan except Radha Ramana are almost out of Vrindavan in Rajasthan, but they were protected by the devotees. So from these, we cannot act like gopis and become sahajya, but this is our mood for our temples and for our deities. We should have that type of attachment and love, and we should meditate wherever we are in the world for our preaching service. Our deities, we should never get separated from our deities. They are Krishna, Radha, Krishna, they are Krishna, Bhagavan, they are Gaurita. So we should always be connected with those deities, to be absorbed in their thought. This is what this gopi is absorbed in the thought of thinking how to raise blessing of the gopis. By the way, because of the modern these gadgets and medium, we can have the darshan of our deities even wherever we are. So we should meditate what dress deities they are wearing today and how we can serve the deities. In this way we should develop attachment to Krishna. So the devotees' feeling of separation are different levels of devotees being separated from their temples and presiding deities. We should feel like that. Any question or comment? Yes, two hands are up. One Mataji and one Prabhu. One more Mataji on the back. Say again, Prabhu.
You mentioned we have to develop love for Krishna, we have to develop attachment to Krishna, to Vrindavan, to live. When we go to Krishna, outside of Vrindavan, we should live in our minds in Vrindavan. And we should do all the things that is connected to loving service to Krishna. Srila Prabhupada always speaking about that in his books, that we should engage ourselves in loving devotional service. Everything is this. But how should we do this? Because it is very, usually you hear these instructions, but how to do it is how to love Krishna, how to serve Krishna, how to develop attachment to Krishna, how to teach us to real attachment.
Oh, your question is, we have to love Krishna. That is naturally already within our heart. We are simply to awaken that. We have to awaken that love, and the process for awakening is sadhana. The love is already within our heart for Krishna. We have to awaken by sadhana. Now we are most fortunate somehow or other that we are in Vrindavan. Because of Prabhupada's mercy and mercy of some devotees, we have the opportunity to be in Vrindavan, which is the most exalted place on the planet. Now, if we are not able to awaken our love in Vrindavan, then where we can do with that? So this is our kind of most opportune moment. Why should we waste that? Here, no other business. No other business in Vrindavan except hearing Krishna Katha, chanting holy name. No other business. So by the way, we have so many other simultaneous activities going on, therefore the love is not awakening. No other business. What the Goswamis were doing, we have to follow the Goswamis. This is the introduction of nectar of instruction. That Goswamis, the highest taste is Radha Krishna's love, and the Goswamis were absorbed in that. And every day for 6 hours they were discussing Krishna Katha, and rest of the time they were writing about pastime of Krishna and all these books for us. That is the mood for living in Vrindavan. That's what Srila Prabhupada has given an introduction to nectar of instruction. We are in Vrindavan, that should be our mood. Discuss Krishna Katha, sit together, think of Krishna, serve Krishna. This is what our mood should be. And even if we have to go out, we should always meditate upon our Vrindavan temple and our Vrindavan deities. And Krishna, one day, when he is pleased with our sincere endeavor, he will reveal himself. It's not that by our practice or by our, we cannot demand Krishna to appear, but love of Krishna will manifest if we are blessed by some pure devotee of Krishna or Krishna himself. So we should always eager to serve the Krishna and his pure devotees, and that will help us to advance in Krishna consciousness and awaken our deep attachment to Krishna. Hare Krishna, yes. Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, 84 course Brajmuli is known as Vrindavan. Yes? This 84 course Brajmuli, including Barsana, Nanaram, Vrindavan, does that include Mathura also? That is called Vrindavan? That is my one question.
Mathura Mandal, how is Mathura Mandal? Yes.
So then, why is it said that like Radharani and the gopis, they would go to Nandala, they go to Barsana, they go to the forest? So why is Mathura separate? Why they will not go into Mathura? I'm not able to understand this. If Mathura is also called Vrindavan, then why they will not go in there?
I think Srila Rupa Goswami has given us the hierarchy. Mathura is better than Vaikuntha because Krishna appeared here. But Vrindavan is higher than Mathura because Krishna is his pastime in Vrindavan. Higher than Vrindavan is Govardhan because Krishna has lifted the Govardhan hill by his lotus hand. And higher than Govardhan is Radha Kund because that's not different than Radha. So the hierarchy of these spiritual places in 84 course, what you are saying, 84 square kilometers, not kilometers. It's course means 2 miles per one course is 2 miles. So this all is a spiritual, but the mandal is a spiritual, whole Mathura mandal. But in that also there is a hierarchy. Because there is no pastime of Krishna with gopis in Mathura. It's simply appearance of Krishna. So gopis were not going there. Vrindavan also, the gopis, all gopis were in Ras dance. All group of gopis, Radharani was not happy. Therefore, Govardhan is a place where all gopis cannot go there. Only some group can go there. So that is higher than that. But still some coward men can also go to herd cows. Radhapur is the only place where the leftist gopis, Radharani and her group can go there. So that is the highest because the Krishna is more pleased there. So this is a hierarchy of the different places because that's only Krishna's appearance place, therefore it is better than Vaikuntha. But then Krishna again went to the Mathura, but no gopi went to Mathura there. Never went to meet them. Krishna has to send Uddhav with a message, but gopis never went there. Because the rasa abhas. We know the 3 levels of love. Dwarka has a love for Krishna. Higher love than Dwarka is Mathura, and highest love is in Vrindavan. So gopis are in that category of highest love. So that is the Madhurya without Aishwarya. Conjugal without the opulence. Mathura has some opulence where Krishna is king. Dwarka is a king. So gopis don't want Krishna to look like king. In Kurukshetra, when they saw Krishna, Radharani said, you are same Krishna, I am same Radharani, we are meeting again. But this meeting has no taste as when we used to meet at Jamuna, bank of Jamuna, at Bansivat. So that place is different. Same people, but no same taste. Gopis were taken from here to Dwarka. But there, still they were not feeling same feeling there. So this is only the place for the conjugal devotees of Raganuga conjugal devotees of Krishna, only in Vrindavan, only in Braj, particularly on all these places where there is no opulence or Aishwarya, only Madhurya. Anything else, Madhurya, you have to say? Why Krishna never went to Mathura? Or Radharani and gopis never went to Mathura?
And just one more thing. darshan of Keshav Bhagwan in Mathura. So for us it's like everything is here. So is there any difference in
Keshav Dev in Mathura, these are Hardev, Keshav Dev, Govind Dev, they were the deities installed by the Vajranath. So they are very special deities for the devotees that they go and visit and have darshan of those deities. Those who are doing Birjamandal Parikram, they go and have a darshan of all those deities. But somehow, within these four walls of Krishna Balram temple, everything is here. That's what Prabhupada said. And some people were satisfied only living here, not going anywhere else. And one of those were Vibhu Chaitanya Prabhupada disciples used to sit here and distribute Charanamrit, and before he was the cook for, he never went out of these four walls. He was all the time only here serving these deities and serving the devotees. And he was not sannyasi even, but I say everybody was in love with this Vibhu Chaitanya Prabhu sitting here. But he was giving Charanamrit, holding the hand, and we can still feel him sitting here. So then he was happy here, simply, everything is here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you for it.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granth Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai, Jai Gaur Premanande.